Well, it started with a picnic lunch in the park. Our most recent reunification, we met, in the city park, and we brought lunch, and we visited, and really in this circumstance, really reaffirmed that we knew they loved their kids, that we could tell that these kids had been loved. They knew love. They knew they knew the love of their parents, and from that first meeting, Treg talked to the dad and said, we're here for you. Like we're in this together. Like we have a common goal here, and that's getting you guys where you need to be so that you can take care of these kids. This couple didn't end up where they were when we took their kids in because they had support. Like they ended up where they were because they had no net, they had no safety net. They didn't have extended family with resources, or even extended family within hours and hours of distance from them. When you take away any support system, how hard that is to succeed. So really trying to come alongside of them, and at times, we've really had to balance that line of how hard do we push. Yeah. We've had to be pretty real with them sometimes, and just really say, like, you need to be honest with us. You need to tell us, like, what's going on, what you need. And thankfully, they have been very good about being honest with us.
Yeah. It took some time.
We had to build a
one time we were there,
relationship.
and you could tell something was amiss, and you could see papers and things that kind of indicated maybe there was some bill problems, and we just said, "Is everything going okay? Are you okay?" And I can't even remember who it was, but one said, "No, yeah, we're good," and one said, "No,
we're not.
We're not okay." So. It's made us reevaluate standards of what's important, like how important is car ownership, how important is access to a washer and dryer, how important are some of these things that we take for granted because we've always had it. But if they don't have it, is it necessary, for them to love their kids without these tangible assets? And how hard do we work to try to mold their life to what we think is normal versus supporting them in the life they have, and so that they can maybe achieve a different status if they want it, but even if not, even if it's never going to be attainable, can they still be successful as a family? So that's kind of makes you reevaluate what successful family looks like.
So important. That's one thing that we've always talked about with any kid that we've had, that we want them to have really good memories of their biological parents, regardless. Like let's find something, and really just validating with those kids that, again, like their parents still have worth, their parents still have value, regardless of how the situation plays out.
And even if it's seemingly insignificant things, like, oh, my dad likes that movie. Oh yeah, well, let's watch that movie. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Or, oh, my dad, he can eat it hot. Like, he can go hot. What do you have that's spicy? Well, let's get, your dad likes it. Oh, I like it spicy too. Let's get it spicy like Dad.
And another thing we've always tried to do is early on in visits, asking the social worker, depending on the situation, a lot of times initially we don't meet the parents, but to take a photo, because kiddos, they don't come, they're not coming with things and so just have a picture, so they can have a picture with them, and a parent to have, and then copies of those in the house. We had some little ones that, we'd kind of tape those around their bed or under their pillow when they sleep at night. Yeah, because that's just such an important part. You know, we've had little ones that just fall asleep holding that picture. We've been so blessed to still see those babies. And a few weeks ago, little guy was the baby that we got as a baby was just running through our kitchen, running, laughing and running, and I said to Trey, I said, I would do every minute of it again, just to know those babies. And truly one of the hardest moments of my life was driving those little babies home and handing them over to the mama. But that moment, it was worth it for that too. Seeing her taking her kids. She was so happy. You know, when they got them, and when everything finally transitioned back and they regained custody, and we went over to congratulate him, and Trey walked up to that daddy and he shook his hand and he said, I am so proud of you. And when we left, I said to Trey, I just wonder, has anyone looked him in the eye and shook his hand and said, I'm so proud of you? And they were crying, we were crying, and